Good morning. I'm Pastor T, Pastor Stephen Tillett, author of the book, Stop Falling for the Okie Doke, How the Lie of Race Continues to Undermine Our Country. A lot of discussion has been going around recently concerning alleged voter fraud, concerns about ballot security, voting, engaging in distance voting, whether it's using electronic voting, uh, through the internet or whatever, or ballot by mail. And one of the major points of opposition to that logical request in the middle of a pandemic is so-called voter fraud. So in my book, I made a reference to a study that was done, and I'll read a quote from it now, on page 47. An August 6th, 2014 Washington Post article submitted by Justin Levitt said, quote, a comprehensive investigation of voter impersonation finds 31 credible incidents out of over 1 billion ballots cast. The numbers don't lie. With the legitimate right and privilege to vote, and justifying it because there were 31 verifiable instances across the nation of voter impersonation is criminal. For the math wonks out there, that's 0.00000031. That's 0.7031% out of over 1 billion ballots cast in this country between the years 2000 and 2014. Passing voter ID laws does not address the more likely but still rare voting fraud schemes, such as at the polls. That almost never happens. It is a solution in search of a problem. It is bad policy. Worse but intended results occur as seniors, poor people, brown people, and young people are the legal voters who are most negatively affected by this election law voter security scam. Now, we have a situation where we're in the middle of a global pandemic. In a pandemic, you're supposed to stay your behind inside. What these folks are doing is, in a pandemic, you're supposed to stay your behind inside. What these folks are doing is saying, no, we want to insist that everyone go to the ballot, go to actual voting places, to polling places, and vote. What's the problem with that? Well, if you're a poor person or African American, first of all, you're going to have less voting machines. The voting machines are typically going to have more problems. And so therefore you're going to have longer lines, which means you're in line for hours to cast your ballot. That's a problem in the middle of a pandemic. In vehicles that have been set up by governments, by local boards of elections and county offices and state offices that have said you can submit your vote by mail. Why is this a problem? People apply for driver's licenses by mail. We receive census information in the mail and then responded to it online using the computer, online submission of our census data. But for some reason, we can't do ballot, we can't submit votes. But here's what it really is. It's voter suppression. That people who don't want poor people and older people and brown people and young people to vote, they will try and discourage them that will cast the ballot. So you then have to ask, well, long line that they're going to have to be in for hours to cast the ballot. That's nonsense. It's unacceptable here in the future, in the 21st century. And so, yeah, I think both of them are Republican state legislatures. We're reconnecting. Come on. In stream. And